I got really into that documentary when that came out. I was all that
Is this
Nexium.
the Vow you're talking about? Is that the documentary you're talking about?
See, no, I think they made there were a couple of different shows about it. There was one that was like an actual documentary, and then I feel like there was one that was more like I don't know. I can't remember, but
So, for those of you that don't know, back in the day, there was a show called Smallville. You remember this show, right?
oh yeah, I love
Everybody
Smallville.
remembers Smallville. It was huge in its time, came around the time of the millennium. It was an amazing new take on Superman in which it would show his roots in Smallville as Clark Kent growing up with these powers, learning how to use them. Amazing supporting cast and
It was like
amazing
CW,
stories.
right?
Yep, yep.
Like when all
This
that was
is
a big thing.
pre-Arrowverse kind of stuff. But one of the members of the cast was a woman named Allison Mack, and she was a young actress at the time. She played a character named Chloe Sullivan, who acted as kind of the best friend or confidant to Tom Welling's Clark Kent, and did a wonderful job. I was a huge fan of her character. I really liked her character, and you know, and the way they kind of kept it going through the years, I thought was very interesting. Well, as Elena has noted, through the years, Allison Mack went through some shit, just to say the least.
Is she like back or something? Like why is she in the news
Yes.
again?
So,
She's not in the cult no more.
so she was in. So here's what happened. There was this group called NXIVM, not the heartburn medicine. NXIVM, NXIVM, and supposedly it was this group that was like this kind of, you know, living a healthier life kind of promise, almost like a David Koresh kind of thing.
Yeah, it was like it started as like this commune and we all like peace, love and all this stuff like when you're on the outer rings.
Right.
And then like once you got into the inner rings, you realized what was really going on, but
Exactly right. She was charged.
she was basically like the Ghislaine Maxwell
Correct.
to the Keith Rainier, the
Correct.
leader of the
Sorry,
cult. Yeah.
I went off track. So this NXIVM group turns out was not a group, but rather a sex cult in which these young actresses were basically going in and trying to recruit younger females to come back to this asshole Keith Rainier.
Well, I feel like they would get. I don't remember. It's been like years since I watched it, but I feel like they would get blackmail on them somehow, and then they would. She literally Allison Mack branded them,
Yes.
like physically branded.
That was the
their
big
nether
reveal
regions
that came out
Yeah,
of the
right.
whole business.
Yeah.
Now, she was convicted and she did serve prison time. She served 2 years out of 3. I guess 2 years for good behavior.
Yeah.
And got the 1 year for whatever, I don't know. But since then, she's released and dude, she's
Clearly got problems.
I mean, yeah, she married a former neo-Nazi.
Who's she married to?
She married a neo-Nazi named Frank Meink, I think is how you say his name. He was a convicted felon and a former neo-Nazi, and I think, if I read correctly, that he was actually one of the inspirations for the film American History X. If you ever saw that shit, then you know how fucked up that is.
So they met in prison? Is that what it's saying?
No, they didn't mean prison.
Or they bonded over
Girls
their
and
prison
guys go to
experience?
different prisons, baby. They don't usually mix. That wouldn't be good for anybody. No, they met afterwards. It says here at a dog park in Los Angeles in 2024, almost a year after being released from prison.
Interesting.
So again, and I mean, I get it. They kind of probably bonded over their experiences because
Yeah,
he's not.
as
He's no
one does.
longer a neo-Nazi. He's a reformed neo-Nazi.
And she's a reformed sex cult leader.
Right.
So, It's almost like a match made in heaven. I see a
Almost.
rom-com coming out of this, but
So here is my. So then on top of that, this month she did a podcast over, and I think it was Campfire Media did a podcast speaking with Allison Mack, and it's the first time that she's ever spoken publicly about all this stuff that's happened. And dude, talk about a fluff podcast.
I mean,
it gets to the part where she branded those chicks.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what the podcast host says? Allison doesn't like to talk about that part. But she doesn't even talk about it. Totally
they just
glosses
let her off the
over
hook
it.
and didn't ask her about it.
They victimized her.
Listen.
Yeah.
I am sure that she was manipulated and all of
Sure.
this stuff in the beginning of that. But at some point, when you are physically harming other people, you have to take some responsibility for your actions.
I did not hear, and a lot of people are saying this, any responsibility from
Well,
her.
and here's number 2. Okay.
Yeah.
If I had somehow gotten involved as the number 2 in a sex cult organization that spanned the entire country,
Mm-hmm.
The
world.
Yeah, and then I went to prison for my actions and felt like reformed or whatever. I probably would just live the rest of my life outside of the public eye. You know, like I wouldn't be going to do podcasts and like whatever. Like,
Well,
I mean,
I'm sure there was probably some kind of monetary deal.
Well, but again, you know, that's her choice.
Well,
you know?
and you're going to face the backlash,
Right.
which I think is what's happening now. Matter of fact, we had a
Like,
news
she's
story.
not going to rehabilitate her image. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I don't think she's trying. I think she's going to school now for psychology.
oh well, that's rich.
No, listen to this. She
Okay.
first tried to go to school. Get this, for women's studies, and they literally laughed her out
They're
of the
like,
class.
No, you can't
Yeah,
be here. Thank
Like,
you.
Nah, that's not how it works.
We're not going to let you recruit. Oh my God.
And again, it sucks because
needs serious help.
I was a fan of her. She's cute. She was a great actress. She played a great role.
She's
It wasn't in the
Scientologist.
comics. She was in a cult, so I guess that might count. I don't know. And again, there was a story that was released today, a few hours ago, where, again, they're talking about this podcast she was on, where she would describe the branding that with a cauterizing device, almost like a pin.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And
I know all about it.
and says it's fine. What's the big deal?
The big deal. Yeah. It was and the thing is that was the tip of the iceberg.
Mhm.
It wasn't just that they were branding people. It went way deeper than that. Like coercion and assault and like, I mean, that was, the branding was something that they did to like add to these people's shame so that they would then never go tell anyone, because it's like, how would you're going to be afraid to ever like sleep with anybody else outside of this cult because they're going to see this brand, you know, and like it was this whole, yeah, anyways.
Yeah.
It was pretty sick, I'm not going to lie.
I mean, all that I took away from the podcast that she did, which, by the way, we will put a link to the podcast in this video and in the live stream. I think it's called Allison After NXIVM. I did not walk away feeling for Allison Mack. You know,
I'm never going to feel for Allison Mack. Pass.
Right,
no.
right.
Like that's like, she's like a traitor to women, you know, like it's like, I'm never going to like feel sorry for Ghislaine Maxwell. I'm never going to feel sorry for Allison Mack. It doesn't matter what podcast she does.
like the fact that she's done her time holds no weight with you whatsoever, that she did jail time. I mean,
great, you paid your debt to society as per what our legal system tells you, but I mean, it doesn't erase what you did to all those people.
Right.
You know, I don't. I'm sorry, but like when you do, like actions have consequences, and when you do something like that, something that's something that's going to follow you around the rest of your life.
Right.
Like period.
And it will. And like I said, I don't think she thinks she can act still because of what's happened. Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to be doing any casting anytime soon. But you know, you hope that these people kind of heal their lives in some way and find.
Right. Like I would have more sympathy for her if she stayed completely out of the public eye and went and built a foster home community or something like that. Did something good for the world. But the fact that she's on this podcast clearly trying to gain sympathy, that doesn't really show like any sort of like remorse or rehabilitation to
Right.
me, you know, like I don't know. I mean, I don't know if people haven't watched that documentary or really know the depth of the things that she did. I mean, it's bad.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, for sure. I did not watch The Vow, so I don't know the documentary that Kush is referring to any more than she knows about the podcast that I listened to that she just released. But your opinion is your opinion. I would love to know it on Allison Mack. Should she be forgiven? Should she get another shot? Should she get punished further? Let us know in the comments your thoughts. Make sure you like the video, share it, and we'll see you in the next one.